About 4 years ago, I was negotiating a gig that I wanted to do on Craigslist. I used to do a lot of, well, I still do a lot of private tutoring. I used to find a lot of clients over Craigslist. Not so much anymore since the pandemic, and ever since they started charging a fee to post on Craigslist. But I had a slightly distasteful experience that taught me a lesson. I had found this client, and we had gone to King County Library to negotiate the deal and to start. This was back in the dark ages when you could actually go somewhere, sit face to face with somebody, no mask, 2 feet away, back in those days. And I quoted him on how much the tutoring would be, and he instantly accepted the deal, and I really kicked myself. I thought I could have done better, and it really ruined the spirit of the tutoring. I ended up working with him for 2 or 3 months, and he's very nice to work with. But I always got this edgy feeling that maybe I could have done better. And especially one time when he showed up really late, and I still worked with him for an hour, and I wanted to hit the ball out of the park, and I was thinking about how can I raise the prices. We're going from summer into fall, if I remember correctly. And just as I'm thinking about that, he's done with the tutoring. So it gave me a really distasteful feeling. And so ever since then, I've learned to hate it when people accept right away. Even when I expect them to, right? Sometimes I'll ask a girl out on a date and I expect her to say no, and she says yes, and I still get that heart palpitation that, oh man, I should have done better, right? Maybe I should have jumped right into, will you marry me, right? Maybe not, but you get the idea, right? And so I learned to never say yes to somebody right away, because they're going to feel burned. I actually made the mistake on the other side of the equation too. I was living in Wallace, Idaho last winter, and I had gone on to, well, this is a hotel that I had negotiated a monthly lease with, and I emailed very, very nice, I would say middle-aged, 40-some-year-old woman, and she quotes the price, and I instantly accept. And at the time, you got to remember, this was November that I moved in. We thought we just had another winter of COVID, so I only signed the lease up to the end of January, thinking that if I need to renew the lease, even if it goes up a little bit, I could accept that. But then she conveniently told me that the ski season was in, the place wasn't available. I think she sensed that she left too much money on the table. I should have been a little bit more, it ended up being $700 a month. I should have haggled a little bit, hey, I'm still comparison shopping, if you can do $650, I'll take it right now. I should have said something like that. Even if I ended up having to pay $700, I think it would have, more importantly, it would have given her some confidence that she got what she was worth, right? I think that's the problem. And so I've made it a habit. Every apartment I've gone to ever since then, I always haggle something, whether it be the rent or the deposit, or the use of the kitchen if it's an Airbnb. Even if I don't get any of those things, I still make it a point to ask, because it shows where that border is, right? Where I could have gotten. Anyways, I've learned to never accept something right away, and to be a little bit suspicious if somebody accepts something right away, and to see, what I could have done with that client 4 years ago was to point out that I can do this price, but it would be because this hour is very convenient for me, if you do, something like that, right? If somebody takes right away and you feel like you have to adjust the deal, try to make a mental note of what exactly you agreed to, right? You don't have to go outside of what you agreed. If you agreed to do a tutoring session for $40 an hour, and it's a certain time, right? Maybe next time he wants a weekend instead of a weekday, maybe we change the season, or just try to remember what you agreed to, and you can always feel free to adjust if it goes outside of those bounds, right? Thanks for watching.